This is something a lot of us in any creative field go through. You start a project, you work so hard on it, you get excited, and then when it doesn't turn out the way you hoped, it suddenly starts feeling personal. You start connecting it with your own self worth. For me, it started like in my first year of university. I still remember I had to write this essay for my psychology class, and I picked a topic which I really loved, which is about architecture of Indian temples and the idea of like the psychology behind the civilization connected to Indian temples. And I I did hours of research. I was genuinely excited about it, and I really did put a lot of effort in it. And then guess what happened? I got my grade and it was terrible. Like not that terrible, but not good as I expected it. And my professor even said the idea was interesting, but the way you wrote it, it felt like first draft. Like it was not good enough. And I still remember looking at the grade and the comment and just breaking down. I cried so much. I still remember that, and it was traumatizing. But the funny thing is that I never cared much about grades before that. Even in India, I never cared about grades before. But the essay meant something to me. I had poured myself into it. So it didn't just feel like my essay failed, it felt like I failed. And that's the scary thing about being in creative work or being in any field. When you attach yourself to your work so much that the line between who you are and what you create becomes blurry. And then you start connecting your worth with the work you do. And it didn't just happen once with me. In like first and second year of university, almost every project triggered the same feeling in me. And I was in loop around that time. If it didn't turn out great, I started questioning myself. Am I not good enough? And am I just falling behind? And looking back, I think it came from years of seeing achievement as identity. I not because anyone forced it on me, but because that's the way the world quietly works. Because whatever we are creating and how that thing performs is like connected to the achievement or apparently your identity. And even online, you see your friends posting their achievements on LinkedIn and you start wondering, why not me? Like, what am I doing wrong? Is it like, am I a failure? Like, those kind of questions coming up. Like, it's like comparison is never good, to be honest. And self comparison, way worse. And it's so strange. In the same system, you can work just hard as others and still feel invisible. Or you get a good grade and suddenly you feel embarrassed to talk about it because people might make fun of it, and people might see that you are showing off. So, which is the good way? You getting worse grade or you not getting good grade? And it's so funny to see that, and it's exhausting. I've studied and worked in various countries, as you all know, and each country has their own way of defining what success or what achievement means. In India, grade mattered a lot. It's like grade and status was interconnected. Whatever the grade you're gonna get, that's gonna be the status of the family. But personally, for me, my family was very open minded. They never forced me for the grades to like always have good grades. It was just me personally trying to achieve good grades. In Singapore, it was more about intensity and hard work. It was like you have to keep producing, you have to keep working. It's a very intense culture in Singapore related to work, especially architecture, because I did architecture there and it was very intense. In Spain, it's better, obviously, because it's Spain and it's more about balance. But even here, there is this invisible pressure to perform balance, if that makes sense to you. Um, Over time, I started noticing that this whole thing, grade, result, feedback, it's all so subjective. One professor can love your work, another can completely dislike it because it's a personal opinion. So, why let it define who you are? Because every single human is subjective, so your work could also be subjective, and it should not define who you are as a person or it should not define your identity. And the truth is, Your worth isn't a grade or a comment or a client reply, Your work is just one small expression of everything that you are and that you could be. And these days, when something doesn't go well, I remind myself this is not my last project. There's always another one, and each one teaches something different. What keeps me grounded is remembering the scale of this universe. I zoom out a bit and look at how big this planet is, and how small we are, and how small I am, and what's the significance of that small project in my life or even on this planet. And that project looks so tiny, and myself too, that I get humbled and then I stop worrying about it. It's like it humbles you from the soul, and it also frees you from that constant thinking of comparing yourself. Because once you see that, you stop chasing perfection and you start learning again. I also try to keep myself busy with things that I genuinely like: talking to people, reflecting, doing personal projects outside of university, or freelancing. Those things remind me that I exist beyond deliverables. Like, I'm more than just a delivery of a project. I'm more than just a grade, I'm more than just a feedback from a specific professor or a client. And if someone watching this is feeling like their work defines them right now, I get it. It's a very hard place to be. And I've been there, but I'd just say this to you: your work can express you, but it can't contain you. You can always define your work, but it should never define you. I hope it was helpful to you. Thank you.